Alrighty. Welcome to the Stanley Street Social Podcast, Season 6. We're back for another lap of the cycling season. My name's Alex Clements. I'm here with the 2014 World Time Trial Champion, Campbell Flakemore. Welcome, Cambo.
Thanks, Alex. It's good to be back. And it's a very exciting guest we have on today. So I'm very excited for this potty.
Melbourne Football Club captain, TDU ambassador. He's expanded his cycling horizons into some ambassadorship roles. Welcome, Max.
Thanks, Al. Hey, Cambo. If I was a betting man, which we all know I am, I had us not going past season 4 when we lost Stanley Street, but we're here. We're still here.
It's gone international, and Jaco Alua's worst nightmare, 2-time national champion, Luke Plapp. Welcome, Luke.
Thank you, mate. That is exactly what I want to be known for. Very glad with
that. Life seems pretty good as a professional bike rider for yourself.
It's not bad, mate. You introduced Cambo as a 2014 champ. I've only managed to get second at that same event, so he's got me covered there.
There's only one within us.
There is only one world title. But no, life's very good now. Living it up in Adelaide, and yeah, fresh off last week.
Does Plappy make turning pro like look a little bit easy, Campbell? Like a little bit just
Oh yeah, I mean, his first year was a lot different to my one and only year. He's making it look very easy, but I'm sure he's working super hard, and he's a massive talent. And to win 2 national championships in your first 2 years as a pro is absolutely incredible. And going back to back, it's so hard to win around that circuit, and to do it twice, solo both times, not being a pure climber or a pure sprinter, to navigate a race like that and win twice is incredible. So I'm looking forward to unpacking the race with Plappy and seeing how he did it.
Luke, heading into the race, obviously you're one and only versus some bigger team, or the biggest team, Jaco Alua, and then some other like little bits and pairings and bits and pieces with teammates. Like what are you thinking heading into the event? What's the strategy?
Well, I was living it up in your guys' hometown in Lonnie, or just outside in Perth with Georgia for almost the whole summer or pre-season, and then going well. And 2 weeks before was behind Mr. Gilmore on the motorbike out near Carrick. You guys would know, and we had to jump off our bikes and avoid going underneath the truck. So yeah, the vehicle got derailed, and we were in a bit of strife there for a little bit. And yeah, to be honest, it was a surprise that everything came together on the day. But we had a bit of a scare down in Tassie beforehand with a pretty big crash. But I was racking my brain with Mr. Pat Lane. We were working together for nationals and coming up with a bit of a plan, me, him and Zach Dempster, and just happened to pull it off on the day somehow.
So what was the plan? What was the plan?
To fake hurting like I did last year, pretty similar. Try to get on the back foot and let the aim. Well, it worked perfectly with Caleb being in really good form. That helped. I think they were a bit more worried about him than anyone else, which really played to my strengths. Even at the last lap, you saw Bling was pretty keen to keep it riding, just because Caleb was climbing so well, and I think he thought he was in that group coming across. And then on that last lap, it was basically just waiting, and the field was so big. If you went any sooner, you just get eaten up. So you had to wait to the last moment. And coming into that last lap, just anything to get away from Bling. To be completely honest, I didn't know how I was going to do it, and it came really late after Clarkey and Mr. Jimmy Whelan chased me down a bit earlier. It was a really interesting race, actually. I think it was quite calm and controlled with that massive break up the road with Durbo, and Jaco sort of controlled that, which I think helped Caleb a bit, and allowed it to be a bigger field, or as big a field as we've seen coming into the last 2 laps really in recent years.
You're a confident man, Plappy, which I like. Surely when you go into the finish with Bling and Clarkey, you're putting yourself on the back foot, but it didn't look like that. It looked like they were worried about you, which was amazing.
Well, I mean, if we were inside 500 metres to go, mate, I probably would have just sat up and watched him sprint for the win. Would have been no point even trying to compete against him. But yeah, I knew I had to do something early. And I knew Clarkie would try to call Bling's bluff, which he did really well. He knew it was all on Bling, and in the end, I think he showed that it worked. Like, he made Bling do the work and rolled him in the sprint. So I was sort of lucky he put it all on him, which was nice. And old Drew Morey, who had a fucking bloody ripper ride, which was super impressive. I think he was just cooked and hanging on for dear life, and sort of hoping they swallowed me up, and he collected a podium on the way through.
If I lined up 5 guys, just 5 random guys I found on the street, do you reckon you could pick out which one Kane Richards was?
Yep. What a man. Pretty impressive, eh?
I've never seen him before in my life, and he's Hercules.
He is.
How much?
No, that was very impressive.
How much confidence did you have, like when you crested the top of the climb? You're like, I can burn these guys at some point.
It was sort of, we were coming into that last lap, and I didn't really know what to expect. And yeah, just try to get the field down, because I knew Caleb and Swifty were there. Not Swifty, sorry. Yeah, sorry, my coach has just walked in, and I had Swifty in my head. No, yeah, with Caleb and Bling there, knew I had to sort of get rid of them so we can try attack and get out of the way. I knew there was no chance coming into a sprint. I'd have them covered. And yeah, it just happened to work out, to be honest. I had no clue how I was going to win the race or how to win it either. And I think I was just in a bit of disbelief across the line.
What happened when you're going across the top? Like, you looked like you were the strongest, then Bling came over the top, which was probably, in the end, the nail in his coffin. He isolated himself. That must have been nice for you to see that he was isolated, and you knew that you could have had a couple of cracks at him. It took you 2 times to soften him up, but that must have been nice knowing that he had no teammates. So it was a bit of mano-a-mano in the last 7 or 8K.
Yeah, it was weird. I thought I was bloody flying up the climb, and then he's just come over the top of me like I was standing still. Yeah, he's climbing really well. But also surprised at the move too. Just don't, like you said, it sort of isolated him when he had a few of the boys back there, and Lucas was flying all day too. And yeah, I think from reflecting on it and talking to Paddy Lane about it, I think Bling thought Caleb was in that back group and wanted to drive it so he didn't have to sprint against Caleb, which is totally fair if that was the case too. Like, I wouldn't want to take Caleb to the line either. But yeah, it did isolate him. And I guess at the end of the day, though, you say, well, Jaco had their main man there in a 4-up ride to the finish line, so they would have been pretty happy with the odds too. So yeah, I think if you look at it at the end, their man, they're sprinting for the win, basically. But yeah, no, it was a couple interesting things. And I think Bling just thought Caleb wasn't there, so he had to keep driving, and he knew if he came to the line with us, he'd pump us all in a gallop. Yeah.
Happy days. Did you feel like a bit of a king just looking back on all these Jaco Alua riders rolling through the finish line after you've just cleaned them up?
Look, it's enjoyable, I won't lie. I don't mind it. It was it's been a rough couple of years for them at national championships. They've won the crit, but struggled in the roadie and TT of late, men's and women.
Why are you saying that with such a smile on your face?
I think Richie's taught me a love-hate relationship with it all.
Yeah.
Don't need to elaborate too much, do we? No, it's nice. It's nice when they rock up with 9 blokes to a race and you get the better of them.
How hard was some of the? You had me bluffed a little bit with the fake hurt, including the whole SBS commentary team almost writ you off at the 120k mark. How hard was some of Ben O'Connor and Lucas Hamilton's cracks up Bunny on lap, like with 4 or 5 laps to go?
Yeah, Lucas was flying. I think if he didn't have that bike change, he would have probably rode away from us all, to be fair. There was a lot of early rumours going around the race that he was absolutely flying, and he didn't disappoint. Heard he was out there doing 16 laps behind a moto just before the race. But no, he was going well, and Benno, he's class, isn't he? Like, it was, I think even lap 4 when we missed a massive move, he just came to me and said, well, we better shut that down, and I almost got rode off the wheel lap 4 just when he went across. And that's sort of what was so great about having everyone there. It would have been awesome to have Hindley there as well this year, just to see him ride us all off the shoe up the Bergs. But no, it was great, and it was good to see everyone flying too. Like, to see a a really good Caleb Bling, like just a really great race. Like it would have just been great watching it. But also was a bit of fun trying to, I guess, get my way to the back of the bunch and think that I could hide a bit. I think that was more so what I was doing, fake cramping, and yeah.
Have you exhausted that card now?
Oh, I thought going into the race I'd probably exhausted it, but so I think definitely next year I'll have to think up a new tactic. I mean, I did like swing the elbow, swing across to the other side of the road and grab both hammies as if I double hammy cramped or something. So
And
I think if I
there was
do it,
there was no cramp.
oh no cramp, but I think if I do cramp next year, they'll think I'm bluffing. So shot myself in the foot there.
Is that must be fun, just riding around Buninyong, just taking the piss, like pretending that you're hurt and fucking around like that.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. No, I wouldn't go that far. You got to do what you got to do. But it was no, it was funny. I think Pat Lane in the car was laughing at the comment. He had the phone up at the same time. He was with Albie in the Alan Davis in the Lotto car, and just yeah, thought it was quite funny. I think Albie was saying I was a bit buckled and told Caleb, "Oh, don't worry about me." I think Pat kept that pretty close to his chest. Though what the cards were in our pre-race meeting the night before.
Big brains in that car, Pat Lane and Albie Davis.
Yeah.
Just another one, just on the race, the last lap, when you attacked the first time after the top of the climb, are you all in it at that point? Like, was that
Yeah.
your final move? And when you got caught, you must have thought, geez, like that's the end of my race.
Yeah, I thought that was going to work. To be fair, like I saw a Bling flick the elbow, and I thought, oh, we're gone. And it was sort of the exact same point as I went the year before too, and I knew it paid off. I had speed, but yeah, Clarkey and Whelan gave one last final push. And at the same time, yeah, I did think it was it, but I knew if I had, like, I couldn't go to the line. There was no point going to the line with those boys. So sort of just a bit of a Hail Mary at the end. If it didn't work, I was probably going to get the same result as I did if I sprinted against him. So that was sort of where the thought process was.
Also, your thoughts on Mark O'Brien chasing down his teammate Whelan in the front? That must have been nice for you boys in the back.
Yeah, but he's copped a bit of stick from that, which is a bit unfair to be like. Definitely not teammates. Marco is riding for himself every single day of the week at national championships.
The Nationals king.
He was pretty salty not to finish in the top 10, I think, as well. But yeah, we were ripping into him before about that. The commentators were pretty harsh on him. Like, yeah, Bike Gallery Pro Cycling.
Well, was your take on Jimmy's ride? Like, he was obviously flying all day, but did he expend a few too many bickies early, or did he just put his hat in every ring that he needed to be in? Like, what was your take on his day out?
I think he showed he was one of, if not the strongest guy in the bunch, but you could probably put it down a bit of he's a bit desperate and didn't want to risk a move going up the road that was the winning move, and wanted to cover all bases and make sure he was in it, which at the end of the day he was in the winning move, and he just died a bit towards the end. So it's hard in his position and trying to show to the world and get a team. He is too scared to let a move go, and you can't blame him for that. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was probably one too many, and it did cook him a bit coming into the final. But geez, it'd be hard for any of us to race it any different if we were in his situation. And I think he certainly did show everyone he was the strongest. Yeah, I don't know what else he would have done. I think if we were all that desperate for a team and trying to show ourselves, we'd be too scared to let moves go as well.
It's like Cambo touched on before, just this level of taking the piss that you have, just almost this like touch of confidence, just gives you that upper hand when you actually need it, when it comes down to the crunch, when you're going head to head with Simon Clark, trying to outfox each other. It's the magic spice.
Well, Pat was actually really big on that before the race. He said, you can lose the race. Like, you've won it and be prepared to lose it, and they'll be more desperate to win. So that was sort of a really big focus going into the race, to really play that card and show them that you're not desperate to chase it down. Like, let them make the move if they really want to win it. And I definitely went into the race with a lot more confidence. And I think the last 2 years I was more desperate to be in every move and probably chase things down. So it definitely does help. It'd be a bit like you, Maxie, going in this year. You came into the year and you thought you'd be untouchable just from the confidence coming into it. Like, never hurts to have a bit of confidence coming in.
We can't all go back to back, unfortunately, Plapster. It's pretty hard gig going back to back.
You can bounce back though, Maxi.
We can bounce back. 1 in 2 in 3 also looks good. I just want to see the Blue Boys play some footy in September. That's what we want to see, Plappy.
Mate, me and you both. That was
that was kind of our fault. Cozzy Picker kicked a goal on the siren, which was one of them, and then Collingwood. I know you've watched it 20 times, so I don't need to go over it.
Yeah, don't worry. Well, see, this is what annoys me. Everyone talks about the Collingwood game. I was like, mate, I don't think you remember the week before. It was the exact same situation.
Like, it was even worse.
Forget the Collingwood game. Yeah, if the week before didn't happen, the Collingwood game wouldn't matter.
No, correct.
Mate, heartbreaking, mate. I was in the team bus. I reckon it was stage 2 of the Vuelta, watching the Collingwood game, and my heart rate went higher in that than it probably did in the bike race.
So your first Grand Tour, you're sitting there on stage 2 watching Carlton Melbourne.
Down in the dumps, mate. Down in the dumps. Yeah, I was shattered. Priorities. Got all the boys around the footy, showing them what goes on.
Who surely G would love a bit of AFL, surely.
Yeah, a few of the boys sort of know what's going on. There was a couple of them had like this international betting comp or like that. They'd all just try to pick the winners of the teams and have no clue what's going on, which I also respected. Threw my hat in the ring, gave them some tips. But then a whole lot of them had absolutely no clue what was going on. Couldn't understand why I was so pumped. There's a bit. They went to the Big Bash last night, and there's only 2 of them that even knew what the game of cricket was. Magnus was asking when are they going to hit a home run. I told him if they hit a home run, so you keep the ball, just like keep the ball and run away, and see all the security guards come run after you.
Did you also tell them that the Big Bash probably won't be there next year? Actually, I can't say that. It's going well with Big Bash.
I didn't know this, but did you had a cricket scholarship at a Melbourne school? Is this correct?
At Maribyrnong, yeah, I always loved my cricket and footy. I'd probably still be doing them if I was good enough. To be fair, it's definitely what I prefer to watch and be a part of. But yeah, can't all make it to the big leagues.
And the other one that I wanted to touch on before we move on to the TT was you spent a bit of time with Clarkey in the lead up to nationals. Is that true?
Bay Crips, yeah, we had 3 days there together. It was nice, hey? Like the racing didn't start till like 5:30, 6 p.m. in the Arvo. So we were just rolling down the Great Ocean Road together, doing a few hours in the morning, and then turning up to the crit and going head to head, which was a good bit of fun.
Did you get to pick his brain about cycling tactics and just outfoxing people?
Yeah, I did. I genuinely did ask him about like 1 day racing and things. It was one thing I didn't really get to do last year. I only got to do like the Com Games and Worlds, and I really want to one day in the future do a few more 1 days, and we're sort of just trying to pick his brains on how he does it and asked him about the tour and just things like that. Like when I think about Australian cyclists, I think you sort of think of him as one of the smarter ones. I guess he probably wouldn't mind saying like he's probably not one of the ones that are renowned for their engines or big engines, but he's made results happen because of how smart he is and cunning he is. And that sort of, if you can make a career out of that and get results that way, it's pretty special.
I think if you can make a prototype cyclist, it'll be Luke Plapp engine and Simon Clark head.
Don't sell the tour of Norway short there, Plappy.
The what now? The tour of Norway?
Don't sell the tour of Norway short.
No, yeah, I'll be going back there this year, 100%, mate.
Mate, that's the real Plappy story. Everyone's saying it's the Nationals last year. Tour of Norway was special.
Tour of Norway, yeah. It was the first thing I put back in my program this year. I'm very keen to get back there. No, we'll be there.
The time trial, Plappy. Talk us through. Talk us through what happened there.
Too soon, mate.
We can let you go if it's just that harsh to swallow.
No, it's not too bad. I rocked up to the hotel this morning and got like a suitcase of kit, and there was a sneaky TT jersey in there, which hurt me a bit. I was like, come on, guys, you could have taken that out. But no, it wasn't going too bad. I had a good first lap, and chain drop it got jammed in the frame like they do. The chain catchers don't seem to do anything, and they just make it harder to get the chain out. And I couldn't reef it out myself, and Alex Smythe came from the car and got it out and got going eventually. But yeah, just the head sort of dropped, and as you do when something like that happens. Yeah, it was a bit frustrating. It's just it's an event I love, and had to miss it last year, and was really keen to come back and do it this year. So it's just unfortunate that it happened, and in the end, I think it would have been. I really like it. It was already a close race and the close one we've had, but I think it could have been almost three of us right within a few seconds of each other, which would have been really exciting.
Were you were you prepping for the TT? Like, was that a major focus, or you were just like doing it because you happened to be in good shape?
No, didn't prep for it or do many sessions. I was planning to like sort of step into it the last 2 weeks because of the crash. I couldn't do anything really. But no, I think if you're in good shape, you're in good shape. And I think coming from the track, it has been sort of easy to cross over between the two, like in that position. Just got that in the years of riding in that position now. But no, the focus was definitely on the road race. I was pretty keen to try and defend that as well as I could. And I think, yeah, if you're in good form, you can ride both pretty well. I think like we saw with Jay, I'm not sure how much he's been doing, but he's just a class bike rider in general. But no, I think next year we'll go back and really give that a crack and see what we can make happen.
Were you as surprised as us that Jay managed to get Durbo in the end? I mean, I get Jay's a quality cyclist, and some of the stuff he was doing on Zwift that no one knows about a couple of years ago is apparently unbelievable. But to win a TT Cambo, that's pretty hot.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a surprise for me, considering that his shape didn't look super in the road race, and then he put up an Instagram which you shared, Maxi, with us, that the legs weren't so good. But to come back like that and to beat Durbo in a TT, like a proper TT too, where the average speed is in the high 40s. Yeah, truth be told, it was a bit of a surprise, but he's shown what a good rider he is in Grand Tours when he stages at the Vuelta. So he's obviously got a big tank. But yeah, to go out and win the Nationals, that was a surprise.
He's gone the next level on you, Plappy. Like, you pretend to be hurting on the bike. He pretended to be hurting on social media. Like he let everyone. He was boxing on socials.
He did. He went the full journey. No, very impressive. I think we are, like you said, Cameron. We know how much power he's got, and I think maybe that new team and equipment helped as well. But yeah, no, I mean, in a 45-minute TT, which you don't do many of them these days, was very, very impressive. And I think probably had him down as going all right before the weekend started. And after that road, he even really came out and shocked us all a bit. So, I mean, he's put his hand up for a very, very big season now in GCs and whatever individual TTs he wants to do.
Tour Down Under.
The big
Any last comments, Campbell, on the TT before we move on?
No, happy to move on.
Are you the man now, Plappy? Were you the man? You always the man?
A bit shared. G's feeling a little bit unwell at the moment, so not sure how he will go. He's just a bit under the weather. I think Ethan's my tip or my man. I think he's the one. You can't make up too much time in a 5K prologue, and I think he could rack up some sprint seconds, whether that's intermediate or the final bunch. He climbs pretty well, and according to the Jayco boys, little inside words I've got, they think Bling's red hot for GC. So if they think Bling's hot, I'll back Ethan in too.
Do you fancy yourself though for the opening prologue? Little 5K? Have you lost that team pursuit track 4K burst?
I don't think technically I might be up to it for something so short and what could be like there's only going to be a couple of seconds or 1 second that decides winners. So I don't think on a road bike prologue I might not be up there with the top guys. It'd be good to have a real good one and see what I can make happen on the climbs or slip into a break. But no, I think there might be a couple other boys that probably suits a bit better. Yeah, that's just my gut feeling.
Probably don't want to be risking your body for 1 or 2 seconds either on the first day of the pro season either, I wouldn't have thought.
No, I don't have the biggest balls out of a lot of these blokes, so I might keep a bit in reserve there.
Mount Lofty. Talk to us about Mount Lofty. We're sort of interested. I don't think Alex or I have done it. I'm not sure whether Max you've climbed it. What sort of climb are we talking about here, and what's the damage going to be to the peloton? Is there going to be gaps being able to be made on this climb?
I don't think so. It's basically the same Sterling stages you have in all the other years, which is very hard in its own right. But the actual lofty climb's not too hard. I think it's definitely a drafting climb, and it'll depend on how Sterling's raced. But if we're all together at the bottom of lofty, I don't think you'll see any time gaps, or there'll be a good size group of climbers that get to the finish line. Corkscrews, I think the other one, I think that's where we'll get some time. But no, I don't see lofty being too decisive, especially just the way we're coming from it. Like if you come up Green Hill and go up lofty, you got a good 25-minute climb there. But the way we're coming, it's quite undulating and fast. And yeah, I don't think it'd be too decisive. If the heat comes out and we race Sterling loops hard, then yeah, for sure, you might get a few guys, but it's not going to be a Wollonga sort of thing, which is unfortunate.
It really is just going to be Bling v Ethan, isn't it?
Yeah, I sort of think so. Maybe Paddy Bevan, he might be a smoky. Dark horse, good odds there, Max, which we love. So
he's a good Kiwi boy as well.
He is. No, I think, yeah, it's going to be those blokes that can do a good prologue but have some seconds in their bunch sprint. So, yeah, I'm sort of backing Ethan, Bling, Paddy. I don't know who else we've got there. Don't know what the odds are telling us, but be somewhere around that.
Where does Ethan take time on Bling? Is it the prologue and hang on?
Prologue and hopefully roll him in a bunch sprint. I reckon that'd be the aim.
Corkscrew is also that's a decent climb. Like damage can be done there if it's ridden hard enough over the top back into town.
Yeah, we finished at the bottom of Montacute, so it's not, you basically descend and then there's your finish line.
Okay.
So yeah, there can be damage done. I think it's more the gorge descent. I reckon that's the decisive thing. If you can knock some people out of position there and stay on your bike, then that's sort of where it comes into it. Which, yeah, trying to tell the boy, like, we've got a younger team here who haven't done TDU, and I've only watched it. I haven't raced down gorge before, but I'm trying to explain to them that it gets very hairy, or from what it seems like on the TV in the past. I only think about, what did Jay McCarthy crash a couple of years ago?
Yeah, it's not a pleasant run in, that's for sure.
No. So
I'm pretty sure.
And
do you know if Ilnor Zakarin is riding, Plappy?
No, I don't think so. And unfortunately, no Italian wildcards have been selected for this either. Which,
is Moschetti not here?
You're in a bit of trouble there. You're gonna have to find something. You can get around the young Australian team, but I'm not sure how much they'll give you either.
Maybe Caden Grover. I don't know. I don't know I don't know where the value is going to be, Plappy. We might need to talk.
No.
You'll sniff it out.
I'll sniff it out.
Off camera, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
When do you arrive in town?
Very soon. Let's just say that. So I should be there to cut. I should be there to cut the ribbon, but I'm not. I can't get out of training. But I'll be there for the last three stages. I'm pretty sure. Is there much talk in the peloton, Plappy, about the TDU ambassador this year? Or?
Big, mate. Absolutely massive. They're all looking forward to it.
Beautiful.
Absolutely massive.
Is there posters of Max plastered all over Adelaide?
Yeah, all over, mate. All over. Get him in an Ineos. I'll get you an Ineos Aussie jersey. We'll flick Stewie's, mate. I got an up-to-date one.
Yeah,
he was doing it all the time.
Stewie might not be happy with that, but got two. So you got two. Just give me one.
Yeah, exactly. You just might have to shrink a bit, mate.
How tall are you? You seem like a taller man in the peloton.
182. So what do you got? 20 and a bit on me? 20 and change?
20 and a bit and a few kilos. Like I saw you push like 900 watts to get Bling off a wheel. I'll push 900 watts for fun with my size.
Max is turning into a real data rat this season.
Yeah,
he is, isn't he?
I've got to get off Strava.
Big old sports scientist on the analysis.
I love Watts. I love Watts because it's my excuse when I get dropped up a hill.
You can always say you're just doing heaps of Watts, Max. That's your key.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Thanks for joining us, Plappy. It was good to chat as always. Big congratulations on your win. It's ultra impressive as we discussed, and good luck for this week.
No, thank you, gentlemen. Be sure to chat soon.
Thanks,
catch you soon, Maxie. Cheers, guys. So yeah,
Just living the life. Ineos deal.
That was that's the face and the energy and the of what a two-time back-to-back Australian road race champion sounds like.
You'd be feeling $1 million right now. Like when you have good nationals and you then go to Adelaide and you're in the hotel, you're really feeling good about things. He's on a good level at the moment.
You're on the
he didn't
team.
want to say he did not want to say Ethan Hayter.
What do you want to back himself in?
He wanted to back it. I'm actually thinking there's a chance now.
That gives you confidence. That's enough to.
That gives me enough. I'm going to back Paddy Bevan as well because he told me to. But
that's good mail. I don't mind it.
Yeah, that's good mail. I'm not sure if he's allowed to. Am I allowed to tell him to back Geelong? I don't think I am. Anyway.
Make sure we'll give you you got first-hand rights for the production of this pod gets it out to the big listenership, which will obviously swing the odds.
Yeah, I'm glad he knows about my Italian cycling fetish.
Yeah. Except no one's here.
What's his name from Cofidis? The Chimolay, how do you say his name? He can sprint.
Maybe that's something. Maybe it's something to get in Stewie's ear about for next year. Is just getting a little Italian number out here for you, or putting it on Trek's radar that they need Moschetti in the bunch as a minimum.
I'm planning to catch up with Cohen when I get to TDU as well. So I'll just talk to Cohen and ask him. We need more Moschetti.
So, have you been working with Stewie O'Grady, the race director, over the last month, or what's been going on?
We've done a little bit of filming, myself and Stu, obviously to promote TDU, which is exciting. I've never met Stu, obviously a big fan. I don't think he realised how much of a cycling fan I am. Me and my betting account. No, I didn't. Trust me. TDU's not even open yet, so there's no way I could have done that.
The Stage 1 Cambo, you were a bit disappointed that didn't feature in the 2014 edition of the event?
Oh, it would have been nice. I mean, I'm guessing it's pancake flat, so it probably didn't suit my credentials. But it's a nice little something different for TDU. Normally, there's been no prologue or TT to sort of get a few little seconds here and there because, as we know, this race, even with some proper climbs in it, can come down to time bonuses. So it's nice to have this little buffer in there. And yeah, it's just a good change for the race.
I think it's a massive in. I think like the prologue through the center of town. Big teams there throwing it down, not too long. I think a massive in and then a massive out. Big questions around not including Wollonga at the back end of the race.
Yeah,
I don't mind McCall. I think it's good to, and I'm obviously going to back my big power Stuart.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether we can listen to anything Max says here because he's on the payroll for Santos.
This is Alex trying to talk about Australian cyclists. This is tough. Whatever, it's just the perfect 5 stages in the prologue. Everything is beautifully done.
Best race they've ever put together.
Correct.
Stewie O'Grady, he's going to be directing Tour de France in 3 years. He's that good.
Yes, he's got my vote.
Do we want to run through the team sheets? Back to.
I mean, what other ways there to do it?
Starting at the top, Jaco Alua. Fresh name again. Wouldn't be this team without a fresh badge. But I guess more importantly, the new badge Alua comes with cash. So Jerry's starting to not just be the sole investor to keep this team alive.
There's nothing like getting a Saudi team to come back in, to get the Aussies' heart back in, to get us back going for Yoko. No, Jerry Ryan's done amazing things for the sport, and for anything to keep him going, I'm more than happy with the name change and the team change and the added sponsor. Strong team as well. As much as we want our man Plappy to do well, this is going to be the team, and they're going to be heaving off the back of the nationals as well.
Well, they've got their two
Yeah,
biggest
just
names.
Durbridge and Hepburn.
Yeah, it's similar to UAE for the UAE boys when they go to the UAE tour. They take a good team because they want to win. It looks like they're taking a team. Yeah, we want to win the TDU. This is our tour.
Oh, this is a serious team they put together. And I'm not taking the piss about Hepburn and Durbridge, by the way, Alex. Like when you get those boys in at TDU, you know you're going to get like, two boys that are absolutely committed to the team and whatever it takes. We saw how good a form Michael Matthews is in. Spent a bit of time with Lucas over summer, hardly any time actually, because he was actually back in Ararat training. So he means business. Harper, always good in January. And Simon Yates, not sure what sort of shape he'll be coming over in, but yeah, I think he'll be a big help to Michael Matthews, and he might even be able to get let loose on corkscrew. That sort of climb is right in his wheelhouse. So this is a team that is here for business, and if they don't win, they'll be pissed off. Simple as that.
You feel like Happy and Durbo are kind of Happy and Durbo and the Jayco part of the two sponsors are keeping the Australia alive within that squad.
They're just the heart and soul of the team.
They're hype
the heart
men.
and soul of the team.
They bring
hype
the
men.
squad together. You can't win Tour Down Under without Happy and Durbo in the team.
No, you can't. They're your grunt guys. They're your James Harms, if you will. Max Gawn is that, these boys that just do the grunt work. No one talks about them that much. I'm not sure what sort of bloke he's like around camp, Harmsy, but yeah, these boys are who you want in there.
I mean, I personally would have picked a different name, but he's not far off. I would have taken a Spargo or a Neil Bullen as my two, but
yeah, Neil Bullen, I do like his work too, to be honest.
But no, Harmsy does do a lot of hard work for us as well. He likes the look of himself off the field though as well. So I'm not sure if that's Durbo. Judging by a great photo of him post Paris-Roubaix, I'm not sure if he is a real stylish man, but I could be corrected wrong. So maybe he is.
Have you converted Ed Langdon enough after your cycling trip last year that he's come to Tour Down Under with you?
He actually is. Yes, he is coming to TDU. He's
in.
He's going to jump on the curtails of the TDU ambassador, and I think he's cutting the ribbon. I'm glad that I've got someone to be able to talk day to day with. He can really. I mean, he doesn't know Matteo Moschetti, but he does know Tadej Pogacar, so he can talk a little bit.
How excited is he about the trip? How into cycling?
No, very excited.
Where does it sit in his sporting hierarchy?
It's high, and we got a 4-day break coming up, and he wants to go ride the Alpine regions with me again. So, yeah, I've got to try and tone him down a little bit. Actually, he's not the best riding partner. He's half my size.
I was going to say, is he too fit as well?
To be fair, yeah, he's fit, but I like to back myself in on a bike, but he just sits on my tail whenever we're on a flat, and then I don't even see him when we're going up. So.
Did he torch the 2K TT? Or was that you guys were all really in-house about your 2K TTs in AFL world? It's bizarre.
No, I saw one of the best live races I've ever seen. So they set off two different teams, two different races. So like there's 4 groups. Group 1 and 3 start at each side of the oval, and they go at the same time, and 2 and 4 watch. Mm-hmm. So I was able to watch 1 and 3. So we watched Group 1, which was Langdon was in there, James Jordan was in there, but the main 2 were Tomlinson and Neil Bullen. And we got to go through a few more teams, and this is a long pod as it is, but Tomlinson took the lead. It's 4 laps of Gosh's paddock, 4 and a bit. Tomlinson took the lead. Neil Bullen challenged him in the middle of the 3rd lap, and then Tomlinson challenged him back and put together one of the best last 400s I've ever seen, and both of them hit 6 flat on grass, which is 6 flat on grass is basically, Tomo, go to the Olympics. You're 100 kilos. You're running 6 flat on grass like he's a freak.
Yeah.
That's moving.
Yeah, that's impressive. Big tank.
Yeah. Big season ahead. Big season ahead.
And we waste him at full back. Stephen May's at the complete other end of the field when he plays full back. We could have someone on the midfield.
Stephen May come under 8 minutes.
We don't talk about those guys at the back end. That's one thing we do keep in-house. But Stephen May actually had a little bit of a niggle in injury, so he is doing his next week.
Okay.
Where do you fit in the mix?
I'm actually midfield. I'm sort of at the top end of the talls, but the talls tend to be at the back of all the smalls. So, yeah.
640 for you, Max? I see you about
Just in the high 40s.
Yep.
Just in the high 40s, I'd trickle in.
Nice. For just to wrap up, Jake O'Lua, is a win just the only option here?
Or 3 stage wins for Michael.
And
Nice.
the GC win, I think. Yep.
To get a 4?
Take it all. They want it all. They need it all.
AG Tour.
I don't think they can even get a 7. I think they have to win every stage and win GC to get a 7. Like, there's so high expectations for this team.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
AG Tour, Ben O'Connor, hometown boy, well, not hometown, but home country boy, heading up the French squad. Tricky parkour for Ben to really do a whole lot.
Yeah, the good thing with Ben is that we always have crack. He'll always try something, and there'll be some chances for him to do so. And who knows what's going to be the shape of the rest of his boys? But Ben looked like he was in decent nick around Buninyong, so we can expect him to try something for sure.
He had the most cracks at the road nats, so I dare say he's going to have another fair old crack here because AG2R haven't really supported him superly.
The with Corkscrew really being the main climb, like that is going to be a hot run. Like if you're going to TDU thinking this is maybe one of the only opportunities I have, they're going to be flying up there.
And like Blappy said, the run into Corkscrew is filthy. Like I'm almost surprised that it's like UCI approved. It is danger rocks.
Mm. Do you disagree with its inclusion? Not Corkscrew, but the climb, like because there's another way you can get to it. Obviously,
yeah, you can come up to it and turn right into Corkscrew instead of coming down and turning left into it. Like, yeah, I mean, cycling's a dangerous sport at the best of times, and to have a 100-kilometre-an-hour descent into a sharp left-hander where positioning is everything. It's a little bit concerning, but I'm sure that's something Max can take up with Stewie in his own time over a couple of bottles of Red Bull.
Yeah, I personally think it's a great way to go into the climb. I think it just adds a little bit to the day.
We were an unbiased podcast. There was no bias pre-season 6, but it's snuck in. It's snuck in through the back door.
Just get through one episode. Just get through one episode, and then we're back. Although I'm open to be the ambassador of Tour of Slovenia or Norway or whatever comes my way.
Stana, foreign territory, bringing them out here.
To be fair, they've got a guy who can win. Luis Leon Sanchez can potentially win. Not sure about bonus seconds points, but he can TT and he can climb. And he's got our boy Gianni Moscon there for a little bit of help.
Yeah, if it was 5 years ago, you wouldn't mind Gianni just to get around this track. But has he done anything the last 3 years now since
He's mighty quiet, hasn't he, Gianni?
He was so good. Anything else from Astana? Cambo Max. As we just look at each other.
Fabio Fellini is someone that can win a bunch of sprint when it's down to about 7 or 8 people. So that could be their stage winner.
Max, the next team, Bahrain Victorious. I'm sure within your TDU ambassadorship contract that there was some kind of deal about meeting Bilbao at some point or having dinner with him along the track.
He's definitely on the list. I just want to see how big his heart is. Like, he's just got a big old lion heart on him. Pello Bilbao. He'll be in there. He actually loves a 1 week stage race. Not enough climbing. I don't know. I've never done corkscrew. It could actually be something that gets him out. He can TT. He's been a Spanish TT champion a few times. Not sure if that relates to being a prologue champion, but The Bahrain will be okay. Disappointed Hagee didn't make it down. I'm not sure if you have any news there, Alex, why Hagee's not a TDU man this year.
He was out in Oz.
Yeah,
he
airline costs.
He was like, what?
Cost of travel, mate. It's expensive.
I'm sure the Bahrainian prince probably would have foot his airfare if he wanted to come out. Cameron Scott makes his debut for Bahrain. Fresh Aussie on the squad. And
I think it's a chance to cause some problems in sprints. You got Bauhaus and Arndt there as well, who in their own right are good sprinters. Cam Scott, I'm sure he's put in a good summer, and I think it's a chance of a stage win here.
Gamble, I respect your opinion. You're 2014. I'd say the champion of Australia, but if they let a kid on debut take the sprint over Bauhaus, I'll hand in my Bahrain membership. Like, that would be phenomenal. All for him though. I hope Bauhaus crashes out or loses time at some point, and then they can go for him.
Let's keep tabs on that. I'm interested to see. Maybe I'm wrong, but
that's like when we get to the Australian team that picked from the university, someone going, Caleb, I don't reckon you should sprint today.
Bauhaus has earned his stripes in that squad.
My gut feels he's earned his stripes, but he might be out of form.
Trick Segafredo, Maxi's linked into the Team DS there.
Geez, look, Maxi's suddenly really intertwined in this cycling world ambassador on the bowl to Cohen. He's right in there. What's the story here, Max?
Season 7 of this podcast is going to be Max just solo.
Yeah, hearing big things about Tefastion. We all know he's a rider to watch, but I'm hearing big things. They're running hot. They cleaned up the girls' nats. It was actually my boy Cohen. It was his first day as a race director in the car. So well done, Cohen. Little cheerio.
1 from 1.
1 from 1. Not sure if he's doing if he's been stepping up to TDU level, but yeah, that's all I can see. Tefastion doing something. That's really it. Good to see Gallopin down here, but
Gallopin embarking on his 46th season as a professional athlete.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it, with Tony?
And in their 46th year, they've told him, you can go start your season in January, mate. Have a shit one.
Cofidis. Few Frenchies coming out to Oz. Thoughts on their interest in the event?
Knowing a lot of the French boys to find themselves on Hindley Street on the Saturday night of the tour. They're good for that, that's for sure. But it depends what sort of shape Coquard is in. Good sprinter when things are going his way, and some of these sort of more trickier stages could potentially suit Coquard if he has good legs. So a big question mark on that one. But yeah, besides that, there's not heaps that I can see here in terms of causing problems.
Sudal, quick step. No longer Lotto Sudal. Back on, change teams, jump ship to Patrick's outfit. New name, new colours for the quick step boys. Who do we like in this list?
I think Schmitty. I'm not sure if he appreciates the nickname Schmitty, but he certainly is, from what I've seen, someone that can really be capable in a 1 week stage race. Once again, there might not be hefty amounts of climbs for him to be able to gain some time, but him, James Knox, Mattia Cattaneo, like they're 3 really good 1 week climbers. So they'll be present. No sprinter, is that all right? I don't think any of them can sprint.
Not really. They've got Smitten there as the do-it-all man. He covers all bases.
Yeah. He is the man.
Alberson de Koenig.
They're relevant here.
Yeah, it's a pretty like Aussie and Kiwi, but Aussie Kiwi stacked squad down under with Groves, Plowright, Stannard, and Gaze in the squad.
And they're all incredibly quick, those boys. All known for having a little punchy finish. So that's going to be good. I'm hoping they all ride for Grovesy. I know he hasn't necessarily done anything for Elperson yet. So maybe Rob Stannard might get a little look in at some point. But it'd be good to see Groves go up against the Jayco boys.
I'm not sure how it'll string together, but Groves being led out by Jensen Plowright and Rob Stannard's and Gaze in there too, to be fair. It's like it's a pretty attractive little squad to take it to the finish. If they can string it all, if they can pull it all together so early.
Do you think Stannard's someone that can cause a few issues on the GC, Alex?
Because the big question is his prologue. But if he can put himself in the right position, it sounds like he'll definitely be a kind of guy that can get over Mount Lofty, and then he's got enough kick to challenge Matthews and like for the 1 second, 2 second, 3 second bonuses.
Yep.
You?
Yeah, I think so. Like, is this his third or fourth year pro now? No, he's got a few. Yeah, fourth year. I mean, he's got a few seasons under his belt now, and as an Australian, Tour Down is a big race, and this sort of parkour it suits his characteristics. So it'd be nice to see him get full leadership, but there's going to be some other fish to fry with the bunch kicks, and I think you're right. I think Caden Groves will be looking to show himself as a top dog, so he might have some other duties.
He did win the Tour de Wallonie, which is a very similar type stage race last year, I'm pretty sure. So not sure how deep that field was compared to what's coming up to TDU, but yeah, he is suited to something like this.
Cambo, what are you thinking in terms of like time gaps that are going to come out of this prologue?
I think, like Plappy said, like it's going to be seconds really for the win. You can pretty much guarantee there'll be 10 blokes within 5 seconds.
So if you're in that Rob Stannard basket, can you lose 10?
No, I think it's got to be.
You have to be like on the mark for this prologue.
I think so. I mean, like I said off the top, this race has won on time bonuses in the past, so you can't be giving up 10 seconds before stage one.
Yeah.
So,
and I think Matthews is in that top 5 as well. I think he's going to be right up.
I think so too. And Luke again made another good point. It's on road bikes, so that makes things a little bit different again. So, I think you need to be within 6, 7, 8 seconds to be considering yourself going for GC.
Yeah. Is that the official message of the TDU, Max? Official communications?
Yeah.
That's what they're after.
The communications, the prologue is more about what we do with the streets of Adelaide. It's just great to see the prologue go through the streets of the beautiful city, the city of churches. I hope many people get down there.
FTJ, Group Armour FTJ, Hotel Boy, Miles Scottson will definitely be throwing his hat, his bike, and his body at the opening prologue.
Yeah, I mean, talking about people that are prepared to risk it all, you think Miles, being an Adelaide boy, this is he's good at this sort of stuff. He's from the track. He's got the pedigree. It'd be good to see him win this stage. Is he got the quality to do it? I'm not sure, but he's gonna have a crack trying, that's for sure.
Is he a chance to be a bit more of their leader for the whole tour than a Stora or a Rudy Mollard?
I think every team's going into the prologue with all right, who wants to be the leader? We'll put your hand up.
Yeah.
Let's put yourself in that. What do we got? So it's not 10 seconds, 5 seconds. 5 second bracket. And you're in the mixer.
Yeah.
Which I think Miles could do. He spent a lot of time doing that last 1-2 kilometers for Arnaud Demar the last couple of seasons. He's got a little bit of a track background, and like Cambo says, he's willing to throw it down like no one else. And it's on home turf.
Well, we've just found our Smokey.
Ineos Grenadiers. Yeah, Ineos Grenadiers. Obviously, Plappy's indirectly put his hand up to take leadership, but has deferred attention to Ethan Hayter as per his entire road race. So now we know we can trust nothing he says or does on the day. So Like obviously, massive team. It's massive them being here. Some big contenders. Geraint's a bit sick, which is disappointing. But I'm sure he's on your shake hands list over the weekend, Max.
Yeah, that won't stop me. COVID, well, if you're sick now, 9 days, we're fine. This is a strong team. There's names that we sort of didn't really talk about with Plappy. Magnus Sheffield is a serious TT, and Ben Swift is a serious finisher. So they've actually got so many cards they can play, and I'm excited to see how it works out. Does anyone, and honestly, does anyone know who the hell Kim Huduk is?
No.
I don't.
Well, we should have asked Plappy. That would have been good to hear.
I've seen the name. It must be said.
Well, Plappy only probably met him today too.
We're all just
That's
looking
all
at this
I've
guy's
I mean,
this frantically.
this team doesn't traditionally act on nothing. There's got to be something underneath the hood there that we don't know about.
It'd be similar to what you said. Whoever is in front in the prologue, they might ride for. If it's Plappy, if it's Magnus, I dare say they're both got similar sort of vibes, Magnus and Plappy. But then even like Swift or Hayter can hold on to most of those climbs. So
there's definitely something. There's some truth to what he's saying about Ethan Hayter. Like if he's here in good nick, this is a really good race for him. And if he's not, then I think it'll be Luke Plapp. I think he showed that he's in superb nick. And prologue won't cause him any problems, and the way he's climbing, I don't think corkscrew will either. So I think they've got three really, really good options, and a podium is probably a par for them, a GC podium.
He's teams like Ineos too, they're reliable. You know that they're going to get their man, whoever it is, into the bottom of corkscrew with no issues. Intermarché, Wanty, we spent all last year underestimating them while they delivered random results here, there, left, right, and centre.
Hear me out. This is a good team. This is a good team. Dion Smith can ride and is someone very similar to a Rob Stannard. Will be able to get over climbs and has a punchy finish. And then Van Poppel, Van der Horn, the two Dutch boys, but then my boy from the tour, the Volta, I can't remember which one that I backed to win a couple of the stage wins in Gerben, Thyssen, can seriously sprint. So they've brought some names here.
Cambo, any thoughts?
Well, yeah, I think Max is right. Like they've got some good quality, and we doubted them all through 2022, and they just kept popping up with the results. So, it's momentum. It's all about momentum, and they'll be looking to hit the ground running. And yeah, they've got the list to at least be there or thereabouts.
Jumbo Visma have another hometown boy, Roland Dennis, another boy that can time trial at the top of their list under a Dutch heavy squad. Probably a bit too short for Rowan, but be pretty cool for him just to dust off a prologue in his hometown.
I dare say that's what he's going for. I'd love to know what language is spoken on the bus. You're in Australia with your leader being Australian, but you brought 6 Dutchmen. So I think he might be the odd man out there, Rowan, but it's a good team. But I think it looks to be all in for Rowan. So hopefully he can prologue and then potentially stay with the lads up the climbs.
Team Movistar, likewise, a very Spanish heavy squad. So there'll be no questions around the language on that bus. Gorka Izagirre at the top of the start list should put in a reasonable prologue, be around the mark, but who knows with this squad? Has anyone watched season 3 of?
I couldn't get through it. Yeah, I watched a little bit. I was doing it on my way over to Europe, actually. They lost me a tiny bit.
Yeah.
They were going everywhere. It wasn't the best cycling doco I've watched. Season 1 that was unbelievable. I think they're just here to make up the numbers. Is that they've been told? Bobby Sow been told.
Yeah, because they got to be.
This party license you need to show up in Australia.
Yep.
Team DSM.
Got
Plapp
the new
touched
favourite.
Plapp touched on the new favourite, Pat Bevan, who 2 years ago was in prime position to win this race as well. So he's shown that he's got the goods, and he's Kiwi. So it's kind of home-ish turf. He's got a couple of Aussies around him in Hamilton and Dinham. No disagreements with Plapp's comments.
I can't disagree with what you've said or what Luke said. I think that's some red hot mail on Bevan. We know how quickly and strongly these rumours spread around the race, who's flying and who's not. So, I'll be keeping an eye on Paddy Bevan, that's for sure.
I could potentially see him coming third in every stage. Like, he's someone who is a regular top 3 finisher. He actually won the Tour of Turkey that Jay Vine was at, and I actually remember watching that. There was some impressive little finishes, and he basically won it similar to what this is by constantly finishing in top 3s, top 5s. So yeah, they're here to play DSM after a bad. Would you say bad year? I'd say bad year.
Bad year. Yep.
Yeah.
Give it to them. No
Team
one's been clipped yet, so they'll cop it.
Movie star got a little clip on the way through. This is backhander. Team UAE, Jay Vine, new national time trial champion, which we touched on before. Bennett there. If it was 2020, we'd be talking all about Hershey being here. Remember Finn Fisher Black, Cambo?
I do remember Finn Fisher Black, and you know who else I always also remember is Michael Vink.
Is that the Michael
now
Vink?
Professional with UAE? It's the Michael Vink.
Max, Cambo and I had one commentary gig in our career, the Mersey Valley tour. Was the Mersey Valley?
It was the Oceania Championship.
Around the Mersey Valley tour course. And Finn Fisher Black was there, and he torched the under-19s. So we spent 3 hours on the back of a ute in the back end of Devonport talking about Finn Fisher Black.
Okay, and now he was at Jumbo, wasn't he?
He was. Yeah, the Devo team. I don't know whether he got a start in the seniors, but he was running around the 2s, that's for sure. But yeah, UAE now, which is good to see. He's got a pro contract. And
Michael Vink was on the Trek Devo team, which was like the squad to be on. Axel Merckx's squad when Cambo and I were racing.
He rode for Budget Forklifts as well back in the day, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. He was on Trek Livestrong, and then has turned pro in 2023.
This is phenomenal. This is phenomenal.
A journeyman story, if ever I've seen it.
His bio is incredible. Congratulations. Well done.
But also, he's turned pro with UAE.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like a,
he didn't scrape
Tasha
into
Rumal or something.
Yeah.
Premier side. Hats off to him.
There you go.
Any tips, thoughts on how the squad's going to end up?
They'll be strong. Jay Vine is someone that can finish quite highly in this sort of tour. I think he'll get some bonus seconds at different times. He's got a good team around him. I hope they're riding for him. I presume they would be with George and Hershey. So yeah, they'll be present.
Team Archaea.
I mean, they've got a sprinter, Hugo
Hofstetter.
But that's about it. So they'll be going for something in a sprint.
Any mail on Alessandro Verre for us, Max?
Unfortunately, he's just a bit too young.
How old is he?
I think I'd say 19. No, 21. Okay, I should know. My bad. No, this is a Hugo Hofstetter. If he doesn't get the lead and Alessandro Verre does, that's got a bit of Bauhaus Scott about it, Campbell.
Okay.
EF,
We used to call that.
EF Education Easy Post. Betty O at the top of the team sheet. The big name in that squad.
Yeah, Betty O in top shape is a good rider for this parkour.
I mean, the top two both are.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just always question marks on Europeans in January. That's all I'll say. There's no guarantee of them coming in top nick, but if they do have good legs, then great. It'll be good to see. But yeah, besides those two, I think the rest of us be helping getting bottles.
That's a genuine journeyman from Melbourne to GWS to Hawthorn to EF Education Easy Post. Tom Scully.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go, Alex, as a Melbourne supporter, seeing that name back on paper?
I mean, strange. Bora, Hansgrohe, Hindley. I like that Hindley's here. I like that he's come off the back of Aussie Summer, Giro. He's back in Oz. He's racing. Might not be the tour for him, but it's good to see Hindley on the start list.
I think they have maybe one of the pre-race favourites. Again, you got to be careful with European, but Max Schachmann is the 1 week Grand Tour extraordinaire. Can prologue, can sprint, can climb. Hope he's brought some legs. That'd be good to watch.
Do you know why Hindley didn't do road naps?
Not sure.
No. But yeah, it's not bad. It's a good shout from Maxi.
Yeah. Is he a 2-time Paris winner, I think? Definitely one.
Sounds good. Israel Premier Tech.
I mean, they've got one of the other pre-race favourites, Darryl Wimpey. He just knows how to ride this TDU. So he'll probably do it again. No Willunga, but that might actually suit him a bit more.
And is Clarkey someone we can talk about for GC? Is he going to sniff around enough, or is Corkscrew going to be a touch too tough for him?
I don't think
guarantee that you have good position on the left hand turn.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine for Corkscrew. I think he could be in that 10 to 15 second mark though on the prologue.
Yes. Yep. I agree.
Which could bring him unstuck at the back end of the week. But if he's around the mark, like in terms of picking up seconds here and there, you'd be pretty confident that he'd be around the mark. But also, like Maxie said, to be Impey's right hand man, add some cold blood to the team. I think that'd be a good little posting for him. And Froome is out. Little summer holiday.
That's good. I might go catch up with Froome. I might take my book and get it signed.
Yeah, and you'll press the flesh there with Froome. Surely there'll be a few dinners with 5-time Tour de France. Yeah, on there.
He'd know a little bit about footy, wouldn't he?
He's been out here before.
What is he? A Kenyan-born Englishman. Yeah, he would. That footy's right up his wheelhouse.
The last squad headed up by a fellow Melbourne Football Club supporter, Caleb Ewan. Lotto obviously are not sending a team out to Australia, which I think is probably the first repercussions of not being a world tour team, is that the race doesn't pay for your way out here.
It'll be good to see. Good to see Caleb Campbell. I'm not sure if you know, but I went to his home residence in Monaco. Not actually his home. I tried to see his home, but he didn't want to borrow me. So hopefully now, returning the favour, I'll welcome him into my hotel room. We have a chat. We chew the fat. It'll be good to see Caleb. Did you? I mean, we all saw his flight from Europe to Australia, because he put it up on Instagram. He started off by saying it's going to be the worst 24 hours of my life, which is fair enough. Traveling with kids, I've just done it. Traveled with one, and then he went and put some videos of the plane, and must have been nice having Wi-Fi on that plane. Must have been sitting quite close to the pilot, but he went around the room. Mate, that wasn't flying where he was. Like, it wasn't even first class. He had a lounge suite. The kids had a play den. It was phenomenal. I don't think he saw the kids.
That's a tough flight. Jeez, it must be
That's a tough flight.
Did you take George economy? over to Milan last year.
Yeah, we were, and he was amazingly at 10 months. He was too big and heavy for the seat, so he had to sleep on us. They usually provide a bassinet for infants. We even got the seats for the bassinet seat, but no, he was too big and heavy, so he laid it on us. I didn't go to the toilet for 14 hours. It was amazing. But no, Caleb's flight looked horrible. I do feel for him.
You can pull him up on that when he comes round.
He wins a stage. He could win two.
I think it's important that he wins a stage.
Yeah.
Obviously it wasn't his best year last year, so just to get the ball moving, he was like he's in good nick the way he was getting around Bunnyong. So I think he needs to be winning here.
A pretty good time for him. Milan San Remo, the UAE tour, they're very sprinter friendly, Caleb friendly. So it's a good time of the year for him to hit the ground running.
And he'll just have the young pups towing him around.
Yeah, I can't. I'm sure you guys might know a little bit more. I'm not a massive man for Australian under 23 cyclists, but let's hope they go well.
That's the wrap. Episode 1. Any final thoughts? Any final promotions, Max? You want to push through?
I mean, we got to do our tips. And I mean, my number one tip is it's going to be a great event. Honestly, I can't wait. I've never been this involved in a cycling race in my life. I sat on a hill and watched I watched Lombardia from a hill, and it was the best moment of my life. So hopefully it gets trumped. My top 3, I think Bling and Ethan Hayter will definitely be in and around the mark. So I'm going to go them for 1 and 2. And then my smoky is Dion Smith. I'm going to have him for 3rd.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ethan Hayter for the win, Michael Matthews 2nd, and Patrick Bevan 3rd.
I'm gonna go with Bling because of the Australian entourage that's around him. Aussie squad for the win, Hayter 2nd. There's no arguing that. And Miles Scottson to dip it into the opening prologue like you would not believe. And either put himself 3rd or completely write off his GC contentions.
My tips
till February.
Yeah. My tips completely change if Max Shackman gets a top 3 in the prologue. I'll be going for him.
Anything else to tip on?
I mean, there's plenty to tip on. There's head-to-heads. No. That is it for me. It's going to be, yeah, I can't wait. The cycling season is back.
Will you be in team cars, like race director cars, like High Five and Stewie? What's going to be the setup on Saturday, Sunday?
I sort of saw it, and I haven't had these chats with people in the know, but I sort of saw it as like a Brad Wiggins on the back of a motorbike having a dart type setup.
Yeah.
So if I can push for that, if you are listening.
Well,
No, I'm just going to be keen.
Will you be waving the flag, like, sticking your head out the roof of the race director's car?
Kilometre 0, flag waving sort of caper.
I hope in the last 2 hours of every stage you won't see me, but if you do tune into the early kilometres when the break goes, maybe I might be waving a flag out the car window, out the sunroof.
Who's a must meet?
I mean, I'd love to get my relationship with Caleb up and going. That'll be a start. The Aussie cyclists, I'm keen to meet the Aussies. So as much as the Europeans, I probably won't ever get a chance to see them again. I'm keen to see some Aussies, especially the ones that are like mostly overseas.
Any internationals? Any internationals on the to meet list?
Fabio Fellini. It'd be great to chew the fat of him about Italian sprinters. Gerben Thiessen, I'd like to see his wattage to see if he can actually sprint because I've backed him a couple of times.
You're gonna be talking data. You're gonna be talking data now.
Yeah, I'll bring up data. I'll be on my Strava. No, honestly, like Froomey and G, I've read both their books, so if I can talk to them at some point, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, lovely.
I don't think I'll get him in the same room. Are they necessary? I don't know. That's Wigo. Wigo's the one that doesn't like them.
Well, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy watching the coverage, Cambo.
Yeah, thanks, Alex.
And
Appreciate it. It's good to be back on the mics.
good to be back on the pod.
Good to be back on the pod.
And yeah, all the best for the rest of the preseason, Maxi. We'll talk post TDU. I'm sure Max will have a elaborate update on both the success and his experience at the Tour Down Under.
I'll see if I think this being invited back for another season makes me a journo. So I'll see if I can get my journo on and maybe I get an interview.
Look, I reckon they'll head to head with Geraint Thomas would be all right.
Yeah, I reckon G would be relaxed. I reckon he knows he's not the man. Plappy's the man. He'll be relaxed. I reckon he'll give me a bit. I just need to make a Lanyon or something, like a fake Lanyon. Same with the age.
But if you're with Plappy, he'll hype you up enough that he'll know who you are.
Who's a bigger dog, Plappy or Caleb?
Caleb.
Right now.
Well, right now. Don't know. Campbell can answer that.
I think I'll follow Plappy. Sorry, Caleb.
Recency bias is always good.
Oh.
Thanks, gents. Talk soon.
Thank you.